Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Bible in a Year 2021. We're on day 298. We're reading through Luke chapter 10. Luke chapter 10 is gives us some great perspective. We're well aware of the 12 disciples. There's an expanded circle of 72, and then there's even further of the 120. In this chapter, we're seeing the commissioning of the 72 to go out into various cities, and Jesus warns them, that they're going out as lamb among sheep among wolves. In other words, they were going in with a very gentle spirit. They were going with peace. They had peace to offer. They were going to provide healing and deliverance and all kinds of stuff, whereas everybody else was ready to devour. They devour people. They take what they can get and they leave carcasses. That's the world hasn't changed very much. And what is interesting here, so often I hear excuses of the fact that only the 12 apostles were given authority, and nobody else was allowed to heal, and just ignoring everything that is in Acts, right? Paul and Stephen and the others. We know that there were some that didn't operate in that. We know there was Philip. Philip was a messenger and an evangelist and such. Maybe he did, but we are not given that insight. We have a very small picture of what was actually happening at that time. But regardless, this authority has been given. It has been given to all believers. Paul covers that in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 in dealing with the gifts of the Spirit, and the fact that gifts have been given to every believer for the purpose of other believers, for the purpose of others, not for ourselves. The gifts I have are not for me. The gifts I have are for you, and so on. And it's interesting. What really stood out for me in this was the joy that Jesus had when the 72 came back, and they came back with all their stories and the excitement about how demons obeyed them and all the stuff. And Jesus is just filled with so much joy and excitement that they got to take part in this. But he turns around and he says to them, this is great. Don't get caught up in this. This is just the work that we have to do. The thing that you should get excited about is that your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. That doesn't have to do with, hey, you get a ticket into eternity, into heaven. That has to do with, hey, you're part of me. That's what you should be excited about. It's about the relationship. And then Jesus turns around and he talks about the cities that didn't respond, and how bad it's going to be for them, but really putting the care and the emphasis on the relationship that's there with the apostles and the work that had to be done. But the relationship was key. And I have found in my own life, there were periods of time, I see it in other people as well, that sometimes we get so caught up in the work, we forget the building relationship with Jesus and with each other. We're so caught up in accomplishing that goal that we forget that we've been fit together for a reason. And there's a relationship here that's building, that we should be working on with each other, because we're fit together and we're maturing together, we're growing together, we're fit with we're in Jesus, he's in us and we are in him, and we're learning more about him, we're learning more about his heart, more revelations coming in, and we're growing into his image. And there's this whole thing, and so it's part of the process. It's not just the end goal. It's not the casting out of demons, the feeding of the hungry, the clothing of the poor. That is our mission. That's part of what we are doing. We're displaying the kingdom in power and compassion. It's the power of the casting of the demons. It's the compassion of the feeding the hungry. It's all the components of the kingdom that we are supposed to be demonstrating. And but that's the ministry. Don't get caught up in the busyness of the ministry and neglect Jesus Christ. Don't neglect our very purpose. Don't neglect that. That's what really stands out for me from this chapter. I got a bit of a red nose. I was out when in one of my telephone walking meetings. It's a little bit nippy outside today, so not as nippy as it's going to get, but it's getting there. So you guys have a blessed and wonderful day today, and thanks for being on this journey with me. It is so much better, so much more pleasurable when I get to walk this journey with you guys. Love you, appreciate you. Have a great day.